David, Mr. Lynch, David is landing, Mr. Lynch, can you hear me from here? Because, and if he can believe it, it's a Friday once again. It's a Friday once again. In Naples. Today, just before it was clear, some hours before it was clear at the moment better say, no, practically it's if not mostly cloudy, however, sono probabilmente tangenti pratically it's the equivalent variable are clear in the alternative either to cloudy to cloudy scatters in general, vice versa, and if really at the moment better say mostly cloudy, and at the moment tutto si vestirà no, se mi danno da one con le divi non si ripete, sono divide in cold, cioè quello con le divi, or vice versa in this case, and it's area after 13 and 32 minutes. 59 Fahrenheit, 15 Celsius. This means that it's really cool, like in this period, and if in the last 3-4 days, but I say that it's a light spring atmosphere because we're going to spring in practically in 3 weeks, and some days, and other days, but it's cool, and so cold scatteraggi that, in fact, cold scatteraggi that use for the winter, appearance of status for the sequence, we consider in fact the chant and for just the June 17, so che teoria del campo si assolta, what's the last passam, steps non erode il fedore for me, grazie passam, I think, buoni. So also we overcome them as regard the autumn also the winter come them is based on 71 in particular, so che si entra differente via in Italy, as absent non remember if you go some more which I suppose he did, I'm sure that indeed, I'm sure, ma trovare se entrambi si sono sì, ma tra il suo del sentence è una proposta, perché te io 100 which one is, it's better no perhaps paradox you to for me, I really know you integral relation so for the spring exam video to this macro spring associated agenti soft for esame agenti 8 for load once again agenti soft so that in general for the season to be classic agenti and as regard the degrees at least for me questa figura è fluctuata assolutamente complain but in this period no because it's winter it's cold we so we complain should do complain. But when the city sentence absolutely can complain, I'm really feeling was afraid to me, particularly perhaps really for this period, because what for the fact don't feel cold, or better feel cold less. Then there are people that stories of Brax do and following some years, but two Brax in particular, and to which also start to feel cold, when I come to winter period, winter reports, so I always try to come to explain. So the Brax in case I wrote it in the first part of the second winter. When I discuss if someone is interested in what the Brax with is here, see case I wrote it already in the first part of the second winter. Disaster, when I first saw it, non fosse più ovviamente finché notte questo fatto del culo ovviamente finché adesso non si pensa tempo finché la forza del culo ovvero in genere in some way for me also good instead but the scatto sotto sfiangiato I don't know perché se si mi dice for it's good ma tutto completely fa che non mi riflesse ma fino a questo. It's a Friday once again, sono serie di Friday, visto fuori la serie di Friday. It's a Friday once again, sono visto fuori la serie di Friday. It's a Friday once again, sono visto fuori la serie di Friday. Ascina per l'Udisa. Ascina per l'Udisa. Fantastic Electric, Blue and White, Razor, this is the 6 story reports, because also fifth previous, fifth crescita on the week of 10, if not 10, 11 Friday over, one of them, and it stayed with me previous to 50, more 6 months and more than half. I also lost the code thing also about this when I started to show you about Nesquik, about the breakfast, but I music it one day, went to my time, c'è better business very much just to say, which I started to show it to you, buff again, also the new, buff the new that the previous. Yes, however, this is good because it's new. Only for those who know, I see it, my birth is 30 minutes better. This is 30 minutes better. She waited 30 minutes, and with this, or this for the moment, for in around because obviously new, I think, but also other aspects. And now I showed you better one thing because perhaps just if you don't see well, this is a closer shot. So, see one blue e white, selecting frame mode compared to the web, so from the color system only 40% was blue and white, while the polar aspects it remains only first one second so reports. Also repeat this is 6 reason also reports, and in general this is important questa poi sulla porta vince, tentando solo se mi seccano sta por sotto bice, ma che non c'è se si può anche se metto di mi che mosso si pensa così, posso riferirci per grazie. Minchia di Afro, finché 3 approssimativamente i servizi giusti pure a 59 Fahrenheit 15 Celsius. Reporting the atmosphere at GB. Se vi fuori di Lisa. Essere si cortina sono dei curti in genere sciuse il nostro perfetto. Anzi, si suppose, fa che sono tante individui si sky, sono tante si giusti fuori. Mi deve mettersi at the moment mostly cloudy, and considering not the last 2 days, we had beautiful skies and sunshine, as practically for 4 or 5 consecutive days. It's not considering last 3 days in which we have those beautiful skies and sunshine for more days, Sunday, yesterday, also Monday, Tuesday. But in general, considering the last 2 weeks, I think it's possible I'm almost sure that later in the afternoon, because it's really early afternoon, might become if not totally close to the totally cloudy, also darker, bleaker, and also it might rain in front of a few months from late think or close, but let's see what happens. But as always, no, bisogna immaginare su Wizards, insomma, su questi today very clear. Bad, maximum atmosfera little good. Or bad well, proprio sul conto con le bad, cioè bad sì, yes, bad well, bad maximum atmosfera little good. So sì, sono più. Che sto cadendo, c'è un bresso. Sopra, November 1, magari stiamo su birthday breve, particolare da birthday. Tra deeper the past fact and only for was only it was the previous curtain, the beautiful grey curtain, the beautiful painted with branches, but deeper in the past in fact the previous curtain using three met since he read one of my comments on section should be pointed the first one perhaps for one of them is read the comment section. I don't know if you can see on the test the well shot near enemy from my later think of yes. See the game flowers, longer flowers mixed in blends. Or if not, even better, choose better than shot vertical shot. He said first part of the video to which Veruca showed you the better scatter change and scatter medical window. Scatter medical room was perhaps non the also medical window era medical room. Or from a perspective, also from his shot similar to classical shot, yes film da. Morente al sicuro fino a mistake lì in novembre avanti se tu da tanti anni exati di giure Morente al sicuro aveva fatto best curtain pit beautiful grey curtain beautiful painted bench se rap so for the first time so the pezzi cara curtain from the remote exactly this surely cara curtain is still in government cioè one day sono età match legit yes and this was sì this shot the surly this fact buff one reason perché non c'è rosso reason but more when reason se this measure actually a little speech or sentence sono di che si usa for the previous curtain pit the beautiful grey curtain beautiful painted bench Apple sono che si fa sostenere questo riporto per routine fosse che sempre mi exactly this and now sono che al si vede tutto sono routine so per repeat expression sono che for five times and so even is little speech or sentences it is but also and always better visible for me its entirety in this shot at sequence mythical legendary shot Also gerade die shooter notifizo, tutte queste notifizo first release o last October, it's important to be supported also the notifizo, and that's the little speech center to continue sofrit per svallo lo sofrit. So repeat once again, but also and always better visible for me, needs entity, release shot, at Sipozzi Mitico, leggenda shot. And finally, from Mythical Keeper, Magic 640, APG 625, also Simico, leggenda shot. Since a few days, also from since few weeks, from another shot, Pradia film in fact it on January 24th, it was a Saturday, and to which you can see the actual condition, the actual condition since December 2nd, 2024. Since that, in fact, since that day, there was practically no light on the display, and there are also other little problems about another little problem, but my main problem is the fact that there is no light in the display, and one day as I try to fix it. Yeah, getting the people facendo quite everything it over. So I'm better my system. So myself, I was biscuits, and finally, I hope you will get breakfast. Today it's late in general, also nice for late in information if as maybe it's last better to one fact not occasion last time. It's late in general for the people ball for my record, but not to for my hours, but for us kind of on mind make breakfast at these hours. But let's see more between December and January, so in the winter period between December and January, less since February and the next month, and particularly since March and next month, until next month. Matte da mitzlit. Matte in portie dat sferivo da reaction semana zitto possono fare med breakfast fintene su mi tre servite trinki milk at fintene parte mette est fu siestre so link te regoli stere con semana di su sarà ciò. Do ripeto di close di gariego little somma sa semana meno morno di si just before er just roll obviously just in code 13 and 32 news. Matter, the important thing is to remember that in some way also today fortemente so, miliardi. And as we always say, breakfast is the most beautiful life world. Absolutely. Most of them, si want to think more than 1 year. I also lost constant like effect of the X of from Elisa Friday, but yes, this vabbè also in new reason. Alright, si può buff. Yes, previous creation a week of if not 10, 11 Friday ago. Yes, alright, this should be done the period, but the news we had 1 day, 1 time I check better as you better visit today, just said the things meglio di speech. And from Zara shot obviously news joke to talk about more than 1 year. At the second from Zara biscuits, I'm favorite fact that I'm in visual commons, visual biscuits and serious, but I think at one mess not the car steps. I shop chip cookies. Or the cookies, chip chocolate chips. And if I'm not mistaken, was fair to be challenge. That in particular, two things that were read. This first one, what make factory shot to all against the coffin. But also quick shot, in fact, it was for shot of videos. Shot and influence, I think, 8 months, perhaps more. As also, che lo so coach in that period, se non mi dà ci better. Yes. There was more as quick to finish, and now it's once I think 250 days or so. The same months I mentioned before, practically 8 months, and but I promise you that this should be done period, I promise you 1 day as I touch better, and so since that month or 3 I pattern insert it once again in the milk, so per new news. Quindi se fai che io se becca passa questa bomba se spiego ti va era mega bomba infatti se spiego ti gioco sul ad il talk massonia so questo mi fingo to first time so that video e iniziamo non so se tool le cose becca passa questa mega bomba se continuo se pazzia se in infrarlo si sta con di ragazzi film sa arts compreso position ha preso so e che segue di bam ti fai preso position ma già segue preso position because altri che sapete posizione per me da Italian Pub Mash Croc ci pensiate. Forse, ma tu come non dico, because they are really super bad. اسف مؤاخذة بقول فانترين فكمان انت تمر وتقول لا. انا اول سين